What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Reunion Part 2. Look, I don't know how in the world they stretched this out for 3 episodes because there's a Part 3 next week. Your first clue that you didn't need to do 3 episodes of a reunion is when you had a whole segment dedicated to the dog. I'm not gonna go play by play. I'm gonna give y'all the highlights. There are a couple of things that went down on this part that I thought was cool. Now, let me just go on and throw the stupid stuff out. They had the whole Britney, Lyrica's best friend breakdown. Here's what it sounds like went down. First of all, somebody's lying because both stories just can't be true. The one thing they do agree on is that Britney was friends with the other girl, right? What's her name? Yang, I don't know. Brittany was friends with her. Introduced Lyrica to Brittany. That's where the story. Nothing after that matches. But somewhere down, no, that's not true. They agreed that they went into the studio. That's where it matches. It goes what left. The girl in the middle was feeling some kind of way because Brittany reached out to Lyrica, got Lyrica to come into the studio to work on a project without going through her. And from there it goes left. The rest of it doesn't matter. They not friends anymore. They got to yelling, going back and forth. At the end of the day, Brittany says that, she was trying to be Lyrica's friend. Lyrica was never a friend of her. Lyrica said they were never friends. They were associates. They knew each other, but they were never friends. So there's that. Then her and Zell and Paris got to going into it, and she tried to turn it into a boy girl thing, saying, at the end of the day, Zell tried to come for me, and he's a man coming for a woman, and that wasn't appropriate. And Zell was like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna ride for Paris, point blank, period. You could call it what you want. You could say I'm inappropriate, but Paris is my girl. That's my best friend. I'm gonna ride for her. Okay. What else did we talk about? All right. They brought on K Michelle. She's not going with the lady we met. She's going through a surrogate agency. She said that other situation got to be a little bit too much. It was too much back and forth. The girl boyfriend was causing issues, so she's still doing her country album. She said she don't give a damn what Nashville has to say about it. That she gonna make her music and it's gonna be what it's gonna be because she feel like that's what God meant for her to do, and she gonna have her baby. She going through a surrogate agency, however the correct way of saying that is. Okay. They talked about the whole Vegas trip. Paris was, Princess was mad at Ray J. Ray J was like, y'all make it seem like I left my daughter on her birthday. Her birthday was Thursday. I didn't leave till Sunday. We had a good time. Whatever. Ray had the best weed, but he's in the weed business, so he's supposed to. All right, let's get to the 2 things that I do want to talk about. I think I got the rest of that out the way. Okay. Moniece, Fizz, April. We picked this episode up where we left off last week with Moniece, Fizz, and April going at it. Basically, what it boils down to is Moniece is saying, look, I've been trying to deal with my mental health issues. I've been trying to regulate my meds. I've been trying to do the right thing. But I've been asking you for help and you won't help me. Fizz's thing is, I am no longer going to buy into your drama. You turn things into everything when you make these bad decisions or you do things. Everything turns into, well, it's my mental health. It's my mental health. You wanted partial custody or joint custody. So when it's your week, you deal with it. That sounds real bitter and petty to me. If Moniece, and I get it that y'all have been going back and forth and there's a lot of bitter water under the bridge. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, like Booby said, now Booby, let me tell you something. I've been giving you a hard time all season, Booby, because I've been like, why Booby here? What Booby talking about? Why Booby here? What Booby talking about? But let me tell you something, because I don't know why you were at the reunion. But the best thing you have done all year was what you said in that moment. You said, regardless of what the issue is, if she's telling you she needs your help, and you're refusing to go and get your son, then the person suffering is your child. Boom, bang, boom. And I'm going to tell you something, Moniece, and I'm sure that a million people have already told you this. That boy's setting you up. He is setting you up to get full custody of that boy. Every time you call him, he's documenting it. Every time you go and do what you just did on this reunion, he's documenting it. Every time you go live and you do something stupid, he is documenting it. Y'all, mark my words. Don't be surprised if we read in the blogs sometime in the next couple of months that he is filing for full custody of that child. Do not be shocked, especially now that him and April are together and they sort of had this stable household where they already have her 2 kids living with them. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm telling you now, Moniece, you better start that GoFundMe. You better call your friends. You better go on and get on another reality show. I'm telling you, he coming for full custody. He said it. He said, well, if you having so many problems with your mental health, give me custody. And when and it's funny, they said, well, when she gets herself together, will you go back to it? And he talking about some, yeah, y'all know good and damn well he ain't gonna do that. He not gonna let her have regular visitation, and he ain't gonna give her the baby back. That's how this whole thing started, because he had custody and she sued for joint custody. Now, granted, in the beginning, I think she turned over custody to him because she was dealing. The woman, listen, you don't have to like Moniece. But every time somebody says to me, well, I don't like Moniece because she be pulling stunts. I don't like Moniece because she do too much. I don't like Moniece because she over the top. That is all a part of her mental illness. Yeah. Mental ill people pull stunts. Mental ill people do too much. Mentally ill people go over the top. Mentally ill people make bad decisions. Mentally ill people stop taking their meds. It is a disease. If we would start treating mental illness the same way we treat cancer, the same way we treat diabetes or whatever the situation is, if Moniece had cancer and she went in for her chemo treatment and it was her week to have Cam, and she called Fizz and said, Fizz, I had my chemo today. I'm not really feeling up to it. Can you come and get Cam? What do y'all think he would do? He would go and get his son with me. Because we don't treat those types of diseases the same way we treat a mental illness. But the woman has a mental illness, and she even said when she wanted to check herself into a facility, he wouldn't agree to keep the son during her weeks while she was in a mental health facility. He's setting you up, girl. Don't buy into it. Stop making your private public. Because all he has to do is run this tape of you trying to jump across the stage and throwing stuff and security hoes. Like, girl. And I know people have told you this. I know I ain't telling you nothing you don't already know. And if nobody has told you that, you don't have the right people in your life. But then they were sort of kind of coming at April, right? Lil Boog, J Boog, whatever these people's names are. They were kind of coming at April. Yo-Yo got him in check. Yo-Yo said, let me tell y'all something. What I don't understand is, why does everybody keep coming for April? Y'all not going to keep coming for this woman in front of me. The man is, if not more, is just as accountable. Y'all not going to keep coming at her. Now, while I'm sitting here, you're not. And they tried to like plead their case. Yo-Yo was like, I don't really give a damn. Y'all not going to keep jumping on this woman in front of me. And see, that's what I'm talking about. I ain't all that crazy about April either. But why y'all keep making it seem like April? Fizz. Anyway, the other thing was they were talking to Yo-Yo about, they were talking to her about her legendary status and everything like that. But then they were talking about, her putting out new music and how she felt about that whole situation. And what she was saying was, the people out here now, they don't respect people who paved the way. And for that, I 100% agree with what she was saying. And I think she was even throwing some shade at some of the people sitting on the panel with her, to be honest with you. I think some of that shade was coming. I don't think they was catching it, but they were sure throwing it. Even K Michelle was like, yeah, no, all y'all do is mumble over a beat. Like that's, and it was funny because as soon as they said that, why they put the camera on A1? But I 100% agree with that. I think in a lot of things, people do not have respect for who came before you, to show homage and to show respect for the doors that were busted down for the people who came through them first. But okay. That was, I thought that was an important point. The funniest part about this, especially this episode, is Kendall. He's hilarious. He is hilarious. He's funny. And I'm gonna tell you what else I like about him. He stands in his ish. Because anybody he talked about, he had no problem talking to. Because I guess he threw some shade at Yo-Yo about her hairdo or something. I missed all of that. I'm sure that was something that was all over the social media that I missed. But he came right in her dressing room and they joked about it and they talked about it and they laughed about it. And what was funny was when it was over with, Yo Yo, I guess something was going on with her hairdo or whatever. And Yo Yo was like, but you know who? He said, I'm just saying, sis, they did the front. Somebody set you up in the back, blah, blah, blah. He go, Yo Yo, but you know who did it? You know who did my hair that day? He was like, who? She was like, me. And they just sort of giggled about it. You know what I mean? So then there was a part where Pam, Mama Pam came back on the stage and she done a little costume change and everything, but she was sitting there with her legs sitting wide open. And he was like, Mama Pam, close your legs. Mama Pam, close your legs. And when she came backstage, he was talking to her about it and clowning her about sitting there with her legs wide open. So this what I love. I love somebody who can stand in their ish. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't no big Wendy Williams fan, but I tell you what, Wendy Williams will talk about you and invite you on her show. She sure will. And I don't watch her show regularly enough, but in my moment, what I've experienced, I don't see no BPPP coming out of her. And if y'all don't know what that is, that's backpedaling. Now, there was a point where Jason called himself getting mad because Fizz was about to come at him because, Fizz didn't call April out her name or whatever. And it was funny because everybody was getting ready to jump on Jason's side because they don't like what Fizz did. Yo-Yo shut it down and was like, that's what he was supposed to do. That's her man. He was supposed to check Jason. See, I love somebody that stands in it. And she's right. Fizz didn't do nothing wrong by checking Jason. He didn't do nothing wrong. Jason called his woman. Y'all don't have to like the fact that they're a couple, but they're a couple. And Jason called that woman out her name. He was supposed to check him. What else we talk about? Y'all, I think we covered it. I think next week we're going for somehow next week we're gonna get back to Lyrica A1. Somehow that's gonna be part of it again. They're gonna talk to Mickey Monday, who's been there. Ray J was there clowning. Y'all, Ray J was clowning. I don't know how he ended up on the stage when Brittany B and Lyrica got to arguing and Lyrica or the other girl then threw a pillow and almost hit. Look, Ray J be clowning. He's hilarious, but he was clowning. I really think that was it, y'all. If I'm missing something, I'll give it to y'all next week. But I don't really think, and I don't have my notes. That's what it is. I lost my notes, so they're somewhere around here. I'm probably gonna find them as soon as I turn this video off. I can't find my notes, so I'm trying to go by my memory because I actually deleted the show already because I had my notes right. But I do think I've covered everything I kind of really wanted to talk about. Because look, like I said, there's no reason why this is supposed to take us 3 weeks. When they said next week for the conclusion, I was like, the what? What else we need to talk about? What are we concluding? But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments.